Hey everybody, welcome back to my Eurovision React Review channel. So it is the morning after the night before. I wasn't able to watch any of the Eurovision national finals or anything last night live. I did decide to go straight to bed, which I've woken up feeling that was the best decision because I've woken up fresh-ish with coffee, looking forward to spending the morning just catching up with all things that happened last night. So let's start off with Benidorm Fest. Why not? It is the queen of all dramas this Eurovision season, thus far. So I do know who won. I didn't go out of my way to find that information. It's just unfortunate that I live in a world where the phone gets notifications on multiple platforms and it's just there. Unfortunately, no surprises there. But other than that, I don't know. I don't know anything. So the biggest kind of excitement for me is actually checking out what went down in regards to the results. So I'm going to do that first. Right, okay. So let's just check things out. Overall results. Melody 150. Okay. Daniela second. 141. Okay. I mean, there was a lot of excitement about that song after the semi-finals, don't get me wrong. And there were more people forgiving the fact that parts of it weren't sung. I got over it by the end of it. And I did say, based on what I was seeing on social media networks, that was potentially a dark horse. Kbello third. Yeah, I mean, I said to Georgie in our live chat yesterday, I really did think out of 8 songs, if I was Spanish and was thinking strategically which ones of these had the best chance of competing at Eurovision, I did think it was that one. Lachispa, who thought literally 2 weeks ago that song would finish in 5th? Bizarre. Unjustified. I don't know why Kuv is down in 6th. Like, I really did think that there could be a possible universe where that kind of comes through and wins. Okay, let's see the difference between the public and the jury. So public, that doesn't surprise me. Melody has some hardcore fans. Daniela is a phone song. And Kbello, I mean, it is a shame that, now I am looking at this, it is a shame that people in Spain didn't get behind that one a little bit more, because I did think objectively Kbello was the best option with what we had left. So does the dog. Or maybe the dog's disagreeing with me. Is there anything surprising in those televotes? Not necessarily. It's the jury that I'm interested in. Right, so the jury put Kbello first. Is that because the jury voted with their heads, not their hearts, and knew that that was a good song to send to Eurovision? Daniela. So are they not going with vocals then? It's difficult. I watched it again last night before I went to bed, the semi-final performance, and there was a part of me that sat back. I was like, if Daniela went to Eurovision, is that a song that potentially could do okay? And I was starting to come around to the idea last night that I do think that package would ensure that Spain doesn't get a bottom 5. There's enough people out there. I definitely think there's enough people out there that would get behind that song enough to not see it in the bottom 5. Melody third. Okay, so I haven't seen any of the performances yesterday, so I'm hoping some of these performances vocally are much better than the semis. This is interesting. There's a couple of these songs that I want to check out in regards to having questions about them. So before I listen and watch the winner, I want to check out a few of these songs because, yeah, I'm curious to see how they went down last night in comparison to their semi-finals. Okay, first and foremostly, did Lachispa get her redemption? Does she sing this better? But looking at the jury results, I'm not sure. So far, so good. So far, so good. It's much better. So it's interesting though, even though the jury in the televote couldn't see it was better. So had they just written this song off? Okay, I get the style of the song. I get the style of the music. It's supposed to be shouty, but it's supposed to have that soft edge based on breathing, someone was telling me. I still think I learned a lot yesterday listening to Greece's national final. I really don't think, particularly with this song, that the vocals are so unbelievably exposed. And I think as a result, I think there is things that can be done at Benidorm, in Benidorm Fest, for the audio transmission, just to take a bit of the edge off a little bit. because yeah, it is a really raw vocal, and as a result, it really does expose the singer. I think she's having her redemption. So I'm confused then. Where are all those people putting this song on a pedestal? Where were they in the televote? So did they just literally after the semi-final just reject it? Because she's doing so much better now with this vocal. It's not perfect to the ears, don't get me wrong. So is it the fact that because some people had issues with the staging concept as well? Is that what it is? I'm confused. Like, jury, fine. I mean, juries can go different ways depending on what they're looking for, and based on their top three, I'm not sure what they were looking for. But like, she did so much better vocally. Like, if I was in Spain and I really liked this song before because there was a lot of loud voices behind this song, I would have sat there emotional being like, girl did good, girl did redemption, let me pick up the phone and support her. Where was that response? Where were those people? Okay, I just wanted to see that just as a human being, wanting her to go into the universe with her head held high and not be totally mentally scarred by this experience. I think she did that, in my opinion. Right, so what I'm checking for this one is, do they turn the lights on? Can I see him at all times? And also, like I said, the way the first 2 minutes goes, it's just really monotone in regards to, I don't think he was singing the wrong pitch. I don't know. Maybe it is, again, an audio quality. It's not necessarily a song that should necessarily mean that the studio version sounds better, but live, it just did not sound as good. It did not punch. And I made the point that I really didn't pick up the melody when he was singing the verses. So the song kind of just was one note. So I'm checking whether that happened again or whether tweaks were made. So this came third, but won the jury. It is, I can't remember the studio version, so I understand that he's got like a deep bass voice, but when it comes across live, it just doesn't seem as immediate and as catchy as the studio version. I still have that issue. We're gonna dance all night. So I guess they can't really, I get the fact that they can't really sort out the lights, right? They've got not enough time. They've got their lighting cues. They've spent weeks working that out. So I kind of assumed they couldn't do that. I still, irrespective of what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, I still, although I've not heard Melody's song and how she did yesterday, I still feel this was potentially, objectively, the right song to send with what we had left in the final. And I like this bit. They could have made more of that though. I really feel this could have been worked with a little bit more. We're gonna dance all night. Oh, do you know what? When I got to the end of that song, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little excited about that song. I do think, obviously not listening to melodies yet, but look, evidently the jury saw it. And I said to Georgie yesterday, I was like, Spanish people are hardcore. They do think with their hearts, don't get me wrong, of course they do. But also, I know how much they want to do well, and I know how much they want to win Eurovision, all of that stuff. So I just thought there would potentially be more of an objective draw towards this song. People being like, it's not my favourite, but at the end of the day, my flag is going to be on screen for 3 minutes at Eurovision, and I want, therefore, my artist to do the best that it possibly can. I really do think of the 8 songs that we had, this is the one. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, hence why I'm surprised the jury gave it first. But maybe they gave it first because they could see the potential in it. But this was the one, and I said it to Georgie yesterday, out of all of them, it's the one that could be worked with to do the best for Spain, for sure. Right, does Daniela sing more? Does she take more of a risk? Also, if I was Daniela, would I care? Like, if people were saying, like, I'm not breaking any rules, would I care? And would I just continue doing what I've rehearsed? Ooh, na na, eh. Oh, do you now like this song, Shane? Do you know what, on a serious note, if I was in charge of, because these jobs do exist when songs are selected, like in charge of overseeing, not necessarily the creative ideas, but, you know, making the decisions, contacting the choreographers. If I was given a song that was average, I would try my best to get in touch with Daniela, be like, who was your choreographer? Who was the person behind your song? Because Daniela, I don't want to be shady, but whoever made the decisions about your song, was able to turn a very average song to a song that's making me smile and get somewhat excited on a Sunday morning. That bit was live, right? Parts of it. It's this bit here. I remember listening in the semi-final. I was like, choices were made. Yeah, the mic was away from her face then. But again, I can forgive it to a point. It's allowed. It's within the rules. Oh, na na, eh. Look, at the end of the day, she gets the award for me. I think this, for me, wins the best award for the best glow up. Out of all 16 songs, this is the one I would give an award to Daniela, being like, you had a really average song, and I've left my Benidorm 2025 experience thinking that this is one of the best. You've tricked me. You've done some illusions, you've done some magic, you've had the biggest glow up of Benidorm 2025. It's difficult. There was on a social media platform, you've got to be careful what you believe and what you don't believe. But it got leaked. Her vocal was abstracted from everything else, her live vocal from semi-final, and the audio got leaked, and it didn't sound very good. And I listened to it a couple of times just to work out whether it was fake. Irrespective of whether it's fake or not, when there is moments, obviously, when she's singing, it is difficult to actually work out whether she's singing it well. You can hear she's singing, but because it is supported with pre-recording backing vocals, you can't decipher whether the singing that is being done is good. Because, yeah, that audio that got leaked would suggest it's not good. But again, I can't confirm whether it was hers or not. It did seem to be hers. And it wasn't awful by any stretch of the imagination. But basically, what we're hearing was very different to the actual kind of just taking her vocals out. Yeah. Oh, na na, eh. Na na, eh. Oh, na na, eh. Oh, I think I'm coming away from Benidorm Fest 2025 like finally a spell has finally gone over me, and now I think I'm behind that song. Can someone confirm the jury members? Are the jury members in the arena? Because that was always my criticism before, because I seriously think at Benidorm Fest in the past, the jury members are swayed by what's happening in the arena. So this scored really high with the juries, and I understand why, for a multitude of reasons. Choreography on point. You can't disagree at all with that. And moreover, there might be jury members that might feel we did quite well with Chanel, it might make sense. Visually, it was polished. And like I said, obviously, they don't have a clear criteria. They might do, but obviously vocals clearly isn't one thing that they're looking out for. That might sound shady, but that is factual from what I can see. But if they're in the arena, because that's a song that and it's the opener, right? That's a song that I can imagine people in Benidorm Fest in that arena would just go crazy for. And I can't see how you wouldn't, if you were in an arena as a jury member, feed off that. Look, she's coming away second in Benidorm Fest, where when these songs got released, no one would have ever predicted that. While we're on it. Okay, so we want the last note to hit, because staging can't be changed. So I said the last 20 seconds with the strobe lighting, loved that. So the kind of blacks and purples and pinks theme, I'm all for. But beforehand, I wasn't necessarily sure why they've gone really hard in on black. And then Georgie yesterday was saying that there was too much going on. It's too busy, too many different ideas, and the camera angles are trying to utilize those ideas. So as a result, it comes across quite messy. I didn't pick that up. So with him telling me that now, I'm going to watch this with a bit more of a critical mind. I'm also actually listening to this to see, because I really do feel with what we hear and what we see, it can't be the finished package. Because I guess Nebulosa last year, like for like, took the national staging show and put it in Malmo. I'm assuming they're really not going to do this with this. I'm assuming they're going to go back to the drawing board. But I'm also trying to hear out if there's anything that they can do with the song itself. Because I think that's fair, that we should be open to discussions about whether the song itself can be altered and changed somewhat. Oh. See, okay, so I'm really not a massive fan of this nude bodysuit. And the fact that the reveal was happened and the choreographer was like, did this, and I'm just like, yeah, I can see it. Don't showcase it. Okay, one thing I'd say in regards to the production, the Spanish guitar there that you can hear slightly, I'd increase that, I'd make that louder, and I'd make more of a feature of that in the production. I mean, I'm not musically trained to make that point, but I would like that. Okay, I'm very happy. She was able to... You can see she's got fight in her, right? Wait. I just realised something. I'd seen the video of her doing the hair thing, and I just assumed it was the winner's performance. As in, like, yeah! But she made that choice, actually, because the number 8 was there, so that was her actual performance to see if she was going to win. I need to see that again, that's iconic. Is anyone else like getting the vibe that like in this last 20 seconds after she hits that note, everything that we're seeing and hearing is her basically almost A, as a fighter, and B, in regards to actually making a point to the haters. Sorry. Did they decide to do that like before? Was that a choice that was decided before, or was it a choice in the moment? Is it one of those like, I've hit the note and haters, you can hate all you want, but I've bossed that note, so I've proved you wrong, and ultimately I'm going to celebrate that fact in your face. The hair helicopter thing, obviously, let's make the connection with Ranella from Albania, but she had hair. Like, does the hair helicopter thing like work if you've got... Sorry. Okay. Love it. The audience have gone crazy. Okay, so I'm not going to say anything revolutionary here. Is this a song that I am certain will do well in Eurovision? No. Listen, it is a Shane song. I will get behind this song to a point. It's a Thomas Gieson song. I like Thomas Gieson. I like Thomas Gieson produced, written songs. You can tell it's Thomas Gieson. But even with that aspect, I'm not sitting here like super excited. I'm trying to think like, if I take Malta Loop last year when that won, I was so stoked and so happy that was going to Eurovision. And I followed her, Sara Bonici's journey the whole way, and I was rooting for that song right to the end. I can safely say I don't have that with this one, which is kind of strange because they're probably two songs that are actually very good to be compared to. There's just something slightly lacking for me in this song. There is something slightly lacking for me with this song. It does sound like Thomas Gieson, but it doesn't sound like fresh, current Thomas Gieson, like Loreen Tattoo. And I'm not saying anything revolutionary. I'm not going to say the words, it sounds dated, because people have said that already. It does. Like, whether you like it or not, it does. And that doesn't have to be a bad thing. I'm just wondering, the song itself, in regards to the production that we have, it's polished. It's on Spotify. It's on all of those streaming platforms. One would assume this is the final version. Chanel had slight tweaks and revamps just before the live shows, which was great. Blanca Paloma didn't. Nebulosa didn't. So we're not also in a world where Spain revamps their songs either. Is there anything fundamentally possible with that song to change it? Even small changes, because the small changes they made with Chanel were iconic. Just to make that song pop a little bit more, make it come out of the kind of 2005s to, I don't know. But look, at the end of the day, let's also talk factual. The girl had her redemption moment, which I'm so unbelievably happy for. I still think those last 20 seconds, everything she did was a nod to the haters. It's just, Spanish fans are very excitable. And I'm just curious what they think, in the sense of when, even last year with Nebulosa, there was somewhat of a little bit of a hope that might be able to do something. But what's the deal waking up Sunday today for Spanish people? Is it, we got a female bop, Melody can sing it, and she's going to go to the Eurovision preview parties, and the Euro fans are going to lap it up, love it up. She's going to be treated like a goddess. And then when it gets to Switzerland, it's just going to be what it is. If this was my song, like obviously the UK, I really have no place to talk on this. I would be waking up the next day being like, I like it. I'm expecting this not to compete at Eurovision. I think this song can't compete at Eurovision. It's just whether it can be changed slightly in regards to choreography. Everything needs a complete overhaul, I think, in regards to the staging, which again will be strange because Benidorm Fest, it doesn't change that much. Again, Chanel did change quite a bit in regards to not the choreography, but obviously the aesthetics. But Blanca and Nebulosa, we had a like for like. I do think that this needs a complete overhaul in regards to what we saw. And I just think, yeah, if this is the finished package song-wise, then we just need to expect that Spain just won't be competing this year. And that's fine. But we have a female bop. So I have to be happy in some way in reference to that. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Please let me know what you think below. Do comment below. Let me know your thoughts on Benidorm Fest overall, the final, Melody's win. I am curious, and I always enjoy reading the comments and responding to the majority of them when I can. And yeah, if you're still here and you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do click the notification button so you're informed if when I post videos. And until next time, stay safe.